Welcome to Armchair Expert, Experts on Expert. I'm Dak Shepard, and I'm joined by the Duchess of Duluth.
Hello there.
Oh.
I know, something happened to my voice.
Do you have a little...
Hello there.
Well, it got worse.
I know. Something's wrong.
You can't find the gear. You're like putting it into different gears and then letting the clutch out, still nothing.
Hello there.
Oh, my God. Perfect. Very strong. Very, very in command. Today, we're going to talk to Paul Feig. He is one of our favorite directors. He's also a writer and a producer. And probably just most importantly for us selfishly, he was at the fabled dinner party.
That's right.
Where I maybe went too far. Maybe I didn't.
Well, let's see. Paul weighs in.
He is an objective outsider. He's not embroiled in all the interpersonal workings of this show. So you probably, well, I know. I'm going to say I know you saw Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, you saw Bridesmaids. You loved it. He directed it. He also directed The Heat, Spy, A Simple Favor, The Office, tons of The Office, created Freaks and Geeks. He's an incredible man. He's a Renaissance man.
People might not know that Paul is always, literally always, dressed in a suit.
Oh, yeah.
He was dressed in a suit for this interview via Zoom.
I think he sleeps in a suit, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's such a cute and fun,
playful,
very playful way to be.
It is. I like it. He's in pretend.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's nice.
Okay, so he has a show that he produces that's on Fox at 9:30 on Thursdays called Welcome to Flatch. He also has a different new show out now on HBO Max called Minx. And it's really chock full of penises, which we talk about.
Yeah.
It's great. What could be better? Please enjoy Paul Feig. We get support from Quince.
So we've been talking about Quince a lot lately, and as we head into fall, it's the perfect time to reset your wardrobe with their amazing pieces. I think it's so fun to do when the seasons turn over to just spruce up your wardrobe with a couple specials, and Quince is the place.
Totally. We're talking organic cotton, Mongolian cashmere, tailored chinos from just $60. Premium fit and quality you'd expect from a luxury brand designer. I love Quince. You know, I like it understated and subtle, and I like stuff that has high quality. And Quince checks all those boxes.
I love a lot of stuff from Quince. Honestly, they have incredible premium denim, which is very important for fall. It's pretty much all I wear in the fall is denim. And Quince has such a good selection of quality denim. Their stuff is so versatile, timeless, and built to last that you just grab every single day without thinking.
Right. And all of that for 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They go direct to ethical factories, cut out the middlemen, so you get all that quality without overpaying for it.
We love that. And they do way more than clothes. They have bedding, cookware, bath essentials, travel must-haves, same deal, and great quality.
Upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/Dax. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too. That's QUINCE.com/Dax. We get support from Apple Gift Card. Back to school is here, and for many, that means some big life transitions. Whether they are heading into a new grade or setting up a dorm for the first time, you want to give them something that actually supports their growth and success. Apple Gift Card is a versatile solution because it takes the guesswork out of gifting. It's not just about a new pair of AirPods for focus. It's about giving them the invaluable chance to choose the digital tools and subscriptions that suit their unique journey. They can use it for productivity apps on the App Store, movie nights on Apple TV, or extra iCloud storage for all those new memories. With Apple Gift Card, it's so empowering to give the students their freedom to allocate their own resources. Celebrate their new academic chapter. Visit applegiftcard.apple.com to celebrate their milestones and gift one today.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
All suited up.
Can you hear us? Can you see us?
I can, Dax. Wait, I got to move this stack so I'm not looking at my face over yours. There we go. There, I'll put you right in the middle. There it is. You can hear me?
Not only can I hear you, I feel like you're on WKBR Cincinnati.
Hey, everybody. Hey, it's really good to talk to you today. I had an event for my gin last night. We did a launch of it here in London. I was just yelling all night over a DJ. So I'm a little Brenda Vaccaro right now. And for any of you young people in the audience, you'll have no idea who that is. Dax, you might not even know who that is.
I don't, and I'm really bummed because I like to think I'm an older soul. But tell us who that is.
She was an actress who used to do these ads all the time. And it was like, hi, I'm Brenda Vaccaro. But it sounded like she smoked 1,000 packs of cigarettes every day.
Occasionally, I'll get a little too revved up at an event as well. In fact, last night I was at a basketball game, and I was starting to lose my voice by the end of the night. You know what? I have a little bit, right?
A little hoarse?
This is all too simulation-y. But the point is, I often love how it sounds. Like, I think, oh, I would have had such a dynamic career if I had a little bit more gravel.
We need to start smoking. That's what it is, Dax.
Well, I'll be returning to smoking. Were you ever a smoker?
No, I actually tried very hard to be a smoker when I was in my 20s, but I think I have a nicotine allergy because what would happen, I would smoke like a couple of cigarettes. I'd be so cool and like, this is great. But an hour later, all of a sudden be like, oh my God, nauseous, like I was going to die.
That's everyone's experience. You just push through it. Everyone's first few cigarettes, and then you have them in a driveway, this and that, and you're younger. And then once you get to about 10 a day, that passes. That's in the rearview mirror. And there's virtually no downside until your 70s.
I'd love to give it 10. That's good. It's like the blowfish. What's that thing? Like they cut it once and you die. You cut it twice, you die. But if you cut it 3 times, you live. Who are the people who went like, okay, let's stick with it? You know, these 2 guys died.
Yeah, that reminds me of some famous cat study where they were seeing how far a cat could survive, like how many floors it could fall. I promise you this is real. And I learned it in some college class, and they're fine at a first story window, second story, they're good. Third, I think it gets dicey. 4, 5, and 6, they die. Then they incredibly found out like 7 and above, they have time to relax. Oh. And then they can actually survive it. And again, to your point, who went through floors 4, 5, and 6 and thought, fuck it, let's keep pushing. There might be a discovery here.
And I hope the cats got to test that on the researchers and see how far they could fall.
I think it would be fun for the listeners to get updated on how we have come to know you personally. Monica and I were at an extraordinary dinner party. And of course, in the name of anonymity, we've not outed anyone for being at that party.
That's right. We talked about the party.
Yes.
But we have not talked about the humans there.
Just say it was very cool.
It was very cool. There were cool people there. I felt flattered to be a part of it. My ego was on fire. My status felt elevated. We've had a lot of debriefing about that. As you'll probably attest, I came out swinging.
You did.
And
I loved every second of it.
So yeah, Monica and I left, and we've talked about it a lot, and it was like, it was so fun for all of us. And then I left kind of self-conscious, like I swung for the fences. I bet I was obnoxious. She's like, yeah, you were rough, and I think it worked. So it's kind of nice to have an outside party vote. And by the way, you wouldn't hurt my feelings. I've dealt with the shame already.
No, you're super fun. I mean, that's what that party was. Sorry, listeners, to make it such a mystery party, but it was a fun group.
But I got to sit by you, Paul, and it was such a delight.
Back at you, my friend.
I like it. It works as a mystery because slowly we'll interview everyone that was there. But I can tell you the exact moment that was replaying in my head on the cab ride home was when I took the host's book.
I think that person is known because he invited us to this party on air.
Oh, okay, great. So, Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
There we go.
I picked up the host, Stanley Tucci's book, and I began reading in a very thick, offensive Italian accent.
Sure. Just reading his own words.
So you're in England. You're still there, right?
Yeah, I'm in London.
I think it suits you so well. Can you just tell us what it's been like for you to move there from California by way of Michigan? What's it been like there?
I mean, it's nice. My wife and I, we met 32 years ago now, and the first thing we bonded over was our love of London. My mom's side of the family is all British, so I feel it's in my genes anyway. But I don't know, I just love kind of the way they do things here. I love the style for older men. I'm a big Savile Row, like bespoke tailoring guy. And you can walk around here in suits and you're not the weirdo like you are in LA, which all I ever hear in LA is like, hey, why y'all dressed up? And it's like, well, because I'm an adult. I'm almost 60 years old. I'm sorry, I'm not wearing, shorts and a t-shirt.
Sweatsuit?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that's one of the ways I think it suits you quite well. What did I?
Suits.
Oh my God! There's a
there
pun
we
in there.
go.
Really
Well
good.
done.
Thank you. All right, that's it. I'm not going to top that. When I look at you, the vibe you embody is David Byrne. Do you like that compliment?
Oh my God, that's the biggest compliment I could ever have. I mean, the ultimate Renaissance man.
Right. And we never got to talk about him. We did have a great sidebar about drumming, which I hope to revisit. But
Yes.
you must have loved the Talking Heads.
Huge, yeah. I always loved their music, but when Stop Making Sense came out, that just blew my mind. To this day, if I'm depressed or anything, I put that on full blast, watch it, and it's so amazing.
It's incredible. And we talked about this because at this dinner, we both realized that we were from Michigan and you're from Mountain Clemens. And for people who like the Michigan map, because it's a mitten, Paul is from the lower part of the thumb.
There you go.
It made me wonder, did you guys ever go up to Caseville when you were younger for some camping?
Not Caseville, but I always had friends. We'd always go up north. I didn't even know where up north was. I just knew it was somewhere. It was always like so remote. We weren't even in towns I can tell you the name of. It'd just be out in the middle of the woods trying to get killed. Literally like, hey, I got a dirt bike. Okay, through trees and bam. The next thing I wake up like, oh my God, I ran into a tree. Or it's always like, hey, let's blow a bunch of stuff up. And you're like, okay, cool. You never know if you're going to run into a militia or something like that.
That is so mixed messages. I would never guess that about you.
Not saying I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think the really fun aspect is like, those are all the things I love. I
Yes.
love to blow things up and I ride motorcycles. So it's so funny that we came from the same place. And then for me, that was a real natural fit.
And for me, I was like, I got to get out of here.
Yes.
I love everybody there, but it's not my scene. I need concrete and buildings. That's my jam.
Yeah, because I think the first thing I asked you was like, do you just long for the lakes like I do in the summer? Like, no.
Not at all. This means mosquitoes and outhouses, which to me is like sitting over the gaping mouth of hell. So I always try to stay away from those.
You must have loved the Slumdog Millionaire scene.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yo, geez, that is such a trigger for me. All my worst recurring nightmares are about the worst bathroom in the world. It's usually a public bathroom. I don't have shoes on, and I've got to walk over to a stall, and I'm walking through shit. And it's just like, oh, God. And it happens constantly. Like in Trainspotting, they had that. But if you read the book Trainspotting, the scene that they kind of made fun where he shits out the pill and then dives into the toilet, that scene is written so horrendously gross in the book.
They had the perfect film stock to make that scene sing, right? It was like
Yeah.
so saturated and colorful that you're kind of like, it's a little cartoony, I hope.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
didn't feel too real.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to watch the way it was written
Yeah.
because it's a horror show.
Oh my God. It's so funny you'd say that because Tuesday night, Kristen had terrible gas.
Oh.
And I had terrible gas. And she was saying, like, we're ruining this bedroom permanently. We had doors wide open. It was freezing, the whole nine.
What'd you guys eat?
She was dancing with a new protein shake.
Oh.
And then I'm me. But anyways, the result of which is I had this horrific dream, like you're saying, where for 2.5 hours, I had to go to the bathroom and I was on a vacation and I just couldn't get to a clean. And it went on for 2 hours. And you're right.
Oh,
I've had
God.
dreams where I'm getting stabbed that were more pleasurable than that.
Yes, exactly. You give me anything other than fecal matter. That's all. I ask.
Yes. When you left Wayne State and then you went to USC, what did you major in at USC?
Film, TV production. So I got into film school.
But you were kind of harboring more acting fantasies, or were you just doing that because it was available?
My goal in life was to be an actor. I wanted to be a stand-up too, but stand-up to me was always going to be the road to being an actor. And when I was at Wayne State for the first 2 years, I tried to get into the theater department, but then that seemed too heady, and so I got into mass media. In Detroit, that's what you kind of get. You can't go to film school. And just took any creative classes I could, film studies class, one for film writing, which was kind of hilarious.
What was hilarious about it?
Just because none of us knew what we were doing. When the teacher, bless her, she kind of the one that motivated me. So I wrote this thing, and she's like, you're so talented. You should be in Hollywood. You're such a great screamer. Oh, my God, But then there's some girl in the class who was like, I have an idea for a screenplay. Once when I was driving in the car, my boyfriend put a stick of gum in his mouth and pulled the gum out of the wrapper and accidentally threw the gum out the window and not the wrapper. And she goes, I just want to write a movie about that. So those are the kind of ideas that were going around.
Wow.
So I came up with some ridiculous thing, and she's like, you're so talented. So flash forward, I go to USC, and I get my first class where we had to write a script that was going to be the short film we were going to shoot in the next semester. So I write this thing. I think I'm like a genius. It's like two neighbors in their yards, and one like throws something over the fence, and they start a war, and basically they end up blowing each other up, whatever. I was like, this is such a commentary on life. Why can't we get along? I turn this thing in. The teacher thinks makes it so terrible that people say, like, she's actually thinking of recommending that you be thrown out of the school.
Oh, wow.
Oh
wow.
my God.
That's how bad it was. But then here's the save. Here's how I did it. Everybody had to write like a critique of your thing, and everything was scathing.
Yeah, everyone's competing against each other.
Yeah, and they're all cool, and they all love guitar. And I'm trying to make, Groucho Marx movies. So what I did is I took all those bad reviews, and you know how on movie posters they used to do like, this movie ... is ... great. And you knew they just pieced it together from something that wasn't great. So I did that. I took all these terrible reviews and wrote rave reviews with all the ... and gave them back to the teacher, and she thought that was so clever. Then I ended up writing my actual short film that I shot, and she liked it so much that she used it in future years to show an example of a good script. So
What a course correction.
like a phoenix from the ashes, my friend.
But what do you attribute the growth to? Was it that you actually heard the criticism, or that you just were so ashamed and humiliated that you had to then dive deep and figure out what you actually knew how to write about?
Yeah, I realized how I had coasted in Detroit at Wayne State. So it's kind of like, oh, wait, no, I'm in the big leagues here at USC Film School, which people fight to get into. I just lucked into it because, especially back then, like the film schools have gotten much bigger now. That was like tiny and nobody could get in. I was a tour guide at Universal Studios for the summer before and found out about USC. I wanted to apply and they're like, it's really hard. But then that year, apparently, USC said, we've got too many showbiz kids in here. We got to get people from the outside.
Too nepotism-y.
Yeah, exactly. So through Detroit, I came in and I kind of got right in. So I was like, that was easy. And turned out I had the one window that never existed.
I don't want to slow the progression of this, but I do feel obligated to defend the gal from Detroit because what you don't know is that her title was Wrigley's Folly.
Exactly.
Which is such a good title. Like, she got the title, and then she tried to go backwards from there, and we can excuse that.
Well, can we excuse it? I think that's a bad idea.
I'd see Wrigley's Folly. That sounds really...
We're making that movie. That's all I'm going to say. We're making that movie.
So the whole time you were going to USC, you were writing, and then you're also a tour guide at Universal. When you were doing that, did they already have... Because when I shot at Universal for 6 years, the mystery van would drive around from Scooby-Doo.
Right.
Was that on the scene when you were doing it?
No, it was 81 because I'm old. It was the early days. The tour had been going, but they were just trying to step it up. So he had just put in the special effects house. So the tour would go halfway, then they would drop people off and you'd go into this thing and they would show you how special effects were done. So it was like the early version of some of the things they do now. But all we had roaming around were these two poor guys. It was the hottest summer on record. There's a Phantom of the Opera and a Frankenstein who had to walk around. But their makeup was just a rubber full head thing. They would work 15-minute shifts and then get 45 minutes off because they would come back like they were going to die.
Oh my God.
It was the worst gig in the world.
It's uniquely humiliating, that whole genre of acting. Do you know Craig T. Nelson at all?
I know who he is. I've never met him.
He has this incredible story before he was a working actor where he was the Planters Peanuts guy, and he had to wear this huge thing where he saw out of the mouth of the peanut, and kids, for whatever reason, love to attack this thing. Like, every time they deploy him to a store or something to promote, he'd get attacked.
People are mean.
You know, I was a Ronald McDonald in Toledo, Ohio for a summer.
No!
Yes.
What? That's
Yeah,
incredible.
we need more info.
I was in a theater company. It was right out of high school. And the guy who ran it was this guy named Tom Shaker, who was the Ronald McDonald for Detroit. And he was very famous because he was once coming in a helicopter for the opening of a new McDonald's. The helicopter hit power lines and crashed.
Oh my God.
Out of the wreckage, Tom pries the door open, straightens his wig, and goes, "Hey, kids, I'm fine." Because he knew he might have traumatized a whole generation of children.
Hey, kids, I'm all fueled up on hamburgers. I made it out of there without a scratch.
Wow.
So because of that, he became this rock star, and he wanted to franchise his Ronald McDonaldness.
His unique brand of Ronald McDonaldness.
So they offered him his own franchise in Toledo, Ohio, over the border. So he said to me, because I was performing, he thought I was funny, and I did, clowning and all that stuff. He said, "Will you be Ronald McDonald for there?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, sure, that sounds cool." He said, "First you got to go to Toledo and audition, show them what you can do." So I get there, they put me in this thing in the giant shoes. Right before I go in, he goes, "Oh, by the way, I told them you've been doing this for a year. And go!" And he pushes me in. Have you ever tried to walk in giant clown shoes?
Oh my God.
I have not. Is it like walking in snow skis, I would imagine?
You can't judge the front of your foot, and they had like rubber soles. rolls. So literally, I'm coming on a carpet. Every step, it's catching the front. So I'm like,
But that's great.
well, that's the thing. I come piling in the room. They're like, what? And I'm like, ha, hey, Ronald doesn't know how to walk or whatever. Get to the table. I got gloves on. I know how to juggle. So he's like, and you'll juggle. He gives me the lightest balls, like wiffle balls. I go to juggle them. Immediately, I can't do it. So they don't hit the table, rolling down the table. And then in a panic, I'm like, I'm just going to heckle the guys. So I go around the table like, hey, this one kind of heavy-set guy, and I like pinch his cheek like he's a big baby. Like, aren't you cute? Ha, ha, ha. And like a whirlwind, I'm like, all right, well, thanks, everybody. And I get out of there.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, there's no way they're going to hire me. But Tom comes out, he goes, congrats, you got the gig.
Holy shit.
Oh, that's hilarious.
My God, you know, us actors.
Oh.
I mean, the situations we find ourselves in, they're acid dreams. You wake up in that outfit, you've got no training, you're falling, you're juggling, you suck, you're insulting a guy.
Yeah.
All that's happening so quick. You're scrambling to stay above water. And then you get in your car and then you just really go like, what the fuck just happened back there?
Oh, God, totally. What Craig T. Nelson was saying is true. Like, I would go to these events, and kids just wanted to beat the shit out of Ronald. You had to have a bodyguard with you who was kind of ineffective.
Isn't that what the Hamburglar was?
No, just like a person who was with you.
Okay.
You would start a line to shake Ronald's hand. So they bring him down the line. You were supposed to reach out, and as you're shaking their hand, you're supposed to pull them past you, and then the bodyguard's supposed to then pull them away. But I did this one event. They gave me candy to put in my pocket to hand out to kids, and some kid like hit my pocket. And he goes like, "He's got candy," and they all jumped and like tore the pocket off. They tore the pants, and we were just like fleeing back to the car like the zombies that were running after us. The travails of Ronald McDonald.
They don't even have that anymore, do they? We got the internet now.
I can't believe they got rid of that, but who knows?
Well, if they didn't, and I see one, I'm gonna fucking hug the dude, and I'm gonna put like $1,000 in his candy sack.
Yeah.
Do it.
So I was shocked to see how many TV shows you had been on throughout your early time in LA. Facts of Life, Roseanne, Sabrina,
Wow.
Ellen.
Mhm.
Okay, when all that's happening, are you still setting some sights on writing, directing, filmmaking?
Yeah, well, my goal was to write, direct, and star in my own movies. That was the excuse I used to go to film school. It's like, oh, I want to know more as an actor, but I also want to be able to do it for myself. Because I was a regular on 5 TV series, 4 of them total bombs. Finally, the 5th one, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I finally have a regular gig. They write me out after the first season.
Oh, no.
But what I would do is I would always cozy up with the writers and the directors, and I would always write an episode of whatever show I was on, just as a sample, and they would like it, and then the show would get canceled, so they wouldn't do it. But I always sided with the behind the camera team, I have to say.
Heavyweights is a pivoting moment, or did you already know Judd prior to that?
Oh, I knew Judd forever. We were stand-ups together. We used to hang out with, Steve Higgins, who runs Saturday Night Live now under Lorne. He and then Dave Higgins, who used to be on The Ellen Show, and Dave Gruber Allen, who was Mr. Rosso on Freaks and Geeks. They had a comedy troupe called Don't Quit Your Day Job, and they used to perform at a place called the Variety Arts Center, which is downtown LA, which is where I was a regular too. And one night they were like, hey, you should come to our house. We have this house called The Ranch. It's in the back of the valley, and we hang out every night after our gigs, and they basically play poker all night and drink coffee, and they smoke cigarettes, and we just tell jokes all night.
That is a dream.
I mean, that was like 4 years of my life, just doing that every single night. You always had to see the sun come up before you could leave. But Judd was one of the people who would come in and out of there. We became friends over something very mean, because pre-internet, we used to pass around these videotapes, like of the farting minister and all that kind of stuff. There were these famous videotapes that go around. But somebody had gotten their hands on this videotape that this woman had made, who was a quote-unquote stand-up comedian, and she self-taped herself around LA doing comedy bits on the beach and stuff, and they put a laugh track in that would just go, oh, that's great. It's the same laugh track every joke. And then she would have interludes in between of like dancing and this guy beatboxing like,
Oh, wow.
Everybody was really sad watching it except for Judd and I. We thought it was hilarious. And they're like, that's so mean. Clearly something's wrong with her. But she sent the tape out, so can't we laugh at it? She sent it out. That was when Judd and I realized, we have the same sense of humor.
But also, you're juggling two principles, to be honest. Like, sure, you don't want to laugh at anyone and hurt their feelings. And also, you don't want to be dishonest. Like, I'm not going to lie and act like I have a different reaction to this than I have. It's very complicated.
Oh, totally. And it was just so absurd that you have to really force yourself to not laugh. If it was clearly somebody who was nuts, then but she just seemed like somebody who thought she was hilarious.
Right,
so I was
right,
okay,
right.
Go ahead. But because of that, Judd and I became friends, and we've just stayed in contact forever.
Okay, great. So I don't know why I feel like Heavyweights was something, but immediately after, you create Freaks and Geeks, and then you have 2 years, well, 99 to 2000, you make 18 episodes. They only air 12.
Yep.
Everyone knows the fate of that show. It's become this huge cult classic. I want to talk about the kind of cognitive dissonance you must have been experiencing where you got nominated for Emmys for it, and they're not even going to show the remaining 6 episodes. You've had so many incredible ups and downs, and you've had so many pivots. The flexibility is very ever present in your career, and the fortitude and the stick-with-itness that just keep fucking moving forward. So I feel like this is one of the first really primary examples of that.
It's weird. I mean, because honestly, we got nominated after we got canceled. My mom died like right before we aired the episode that got us canceled. So I was kind of all over the place. But then we got nominated. That was obviously really cool. But then we lost to Malcolm in the Middle, which is a very funny show. But to me, it was kind of the antithesis of everything I was trying to do with our show. Then I went into like a really bad year when I couldn't get anything sold. But then those 6 that they didn't air, they burned off on like a couple of Saturday nights. But I realized, oh, that actually makes us eligible for an Emmy. So I just submitted us for another Emmy and I got nominated a year and a half after we'd been canceled. So it was kind of crazy. And yet I still lost again to Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, it's a little more complicated than I just want to make something different. That's one aspect. But also your cancellation is also a result of its lack of broad appeal, which this show also represents.
Yeah.
It's compounded a bit.
Well, it's that weird thing because we got the most amazing reviews ever. So you had that. And I feel like today we would have gotten another season.
It's a niche market now.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we got canceled by having 7 million viewers every week, which today would make you a hit. Then it made you the lowest rated show on NBC.
Yeah, today that would be the highest rated show. I don't think anyone's getting more than 7 live. Okay, so after that, you have a rough year. I'm sure it takes you a while to get back engaged and on fire or whatever happens. But you go, okay, so my TV show didn't work. I'm going to write and direct this movie.
Yeah.
And you do. I Am David, 2003.
Yes.
And how did that fare?
Well, it was interesting because I had gotten contacted by this company, what would become Walden Media. They had this whole thing. They wanted to take classic books and make them into modern movies, sort of like what they did with Clueless, you know. So they submitted a bunch of books to me. I was like, I don't know. And then weirdly, this book, I Am David, got sent to me. It used to be something that kids in Europe would study in school. You know, it's about a kid who grows up in a communist labor camp and he's got to get across Europe to find his mother. Not a comedy, clearly.
Right.
But I was in this place. My mom had died and I was still dealing with that. And there was kind of this whole theme of finding your mother in it, but also I kind of related to it because a communist labor camp, sort of like, you know, high school, really, you just get stuck in a place with a bunch of other people. You don't want to be there. So I kind of felt I had like a take on it. And also I got caught in the trap that I tell every filmmaker not to get caught in, which is the award zone, which is like, ooh, and if I do this, I bet I'll win awards, which is the worst way to go into anything because you're not pleasing anybody at all. Yeah, but I earnestly wrote it and wanted to direct it. And we went off. I shot it in Bulgaria. Here's how you know this movie was going to bomb. We do this test screening out in Irvine, an audience in there. It goes through the roof. People love it. It gets really high scores. So we're just like on the lobby, like celebrating. We did it. And I look over and I see the audience leaving, and there's these ushers at the door. They're handing everybody an envelope. And I go, what's that? And they said, well, when we told people what it was about, nobody wanted to come. So we said we would pay them $5 if they would show up.
Oh my God.
So you're like, oh, so if I pay the audience, I'll have a hit. Otherwise, no one's coming to this movie.
Oh my God. This is such a humbling business. So now you bounce back to TV. I don't know if you're like me, but it's like, it's really tempting at all times to try to anchor your identity in these different lanes you're pursuing, right? So it's like, I'm an actor, comedian. Now I'm a movie maker. I'm a filmmaker. And then I would imagine there's some hesitation to then go into TV.
I was just happy to work, but at the same time, all I want to do was movies. And I'm David bombed, and then I did another movie called Unaccompanied Minors, which is this movie for Warner Brothers, a Christmas movie. That bombed.
Well, but between there, you did 7 episodes of Arrested Development and 14 of The Office.
Definitely Arrested Development was between those times. The Office kind of stretched over a lot of stuff because I was on there for 6 seasons.
Okay, that makes sense. But I guess in that gap where you're just back in TV, I don't know, are you surrendering the notion or are you thinking like, okay, well, shit, now I'm here. No one's going to give me a movie. Were you having those thoughts?
Yeah, very much. I was very honored to be working on one of the greatest shows, a lot of these great shows. But I just wanted to do movies, and I wanted to do my own movies. And I remember just kind of going, well, I guess I'm just going to run down the clock. I'll make a nice living, and I'll do this, and I'm going to be a director, but I'm just kind of working my way towards old age.
It's not like you're highbrow and going, TV's below me. What you're doing as a director on TV shows, you're servicing the showrunner. The showrunner's the boss. Yeah. It's their vision. Yeah. So it's not really your vision. You're more of a laborer in that world, whereas in the film world, you're much more the Oz.
Yeah, you're the one calling the shots. And I was lucky since I had created Freaks and Geeks and, co-ran that with Judd. I at least had some cachet with these showrunners, so they would give me more latitude, but it's not mine.
Was it weird for you? Because there's this juxtaposition where you're a name, you're a get, but in your own head, you're not able to do the things that you want to do.
If you want something so badly, you just keep pivoting to try to find the way to get to what you want or to get to a version of what you want.
Yeah. Now, obviously, everything changes dynamically at Bridesmaids, but prior to that, you were doing Nurse Jackie, which I had no idea, which I fucking loved that show.
That was one of my favorite things I've ever worked on. I mean, everybody was so nice and Edie's unbelievable, but it was just fun. And I had a crazy thing because I did 2 episodes in the first season, and then I wasn't around for the second season. But the third season, I came back, and through some reason, all these other directors fell out or something, I directed like 8 of the 10 episodes, which was really exciting because I didn't have time to prep. They're bringing me photos. I'm prepping that way. And it just opened me up as a filmmaker to be like not so anal about everything.
I would love that because I fucking hate prep.
I'm not Dennis Villeneuve, trust me. I'm not like storyboarding everything. I used to storyboard everything. And then I get to the set and I'd be completely inflexible when things would happen. And so I couldn't change things up, especially in TV. And you're like, well, I'm fucked if I don't adapt. Or you're working with really funny people and somebody's got a great idea. And you're like, oh, no, we can't because I'll have to add a shot. It's like, no, let it go. Like, have a vision and then be ready to get rid of it.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
This episode is brought to you by the new Max original comedy series, Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. From the world and creators of The Big Bang Theory comes a new comedy series. Stuart Bloom, comic book store owner and lovable underdog, accidentally breaks a device built by Sheldon and Leonard and kicks off a full-blown multiverse Armageddon. Now, he's on a mission to put reality back together alongside his girlfriend Denise, a geologist named Bert, and physicist Barry Kripke. Along the way, they're running into alternate universe versions of characters you already know and love. Check out the new Max original comedy series, Stuart Fails to Save the Universe, now streaming exclusively on HBO Max with new episodes Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Subscription required. This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. We've talked before about Rob building our website on Squarespace, and I bring it up again because it's a perfect example of what they do well. Rob had all the pieces, the content, the vision, the ideas, but he needed something to actually take all that and make it public facing. And Squarespace was that bridge. Maybe you're in the same spot. You've been developing something, a business, a skill set, a body of work, and it's been private. It's been yours, but at some point you're ready to put it out there, and that transition from private to public can feel like a huge leap. Squarespace makes it feel like a step. Beautiful templates, built-in SEO, email campaigns, scheduling, analytics, everything you need to go from I've been working on this to here it is, come find me. All in one place, no code, no stitching together a bunch of different tools. So if you've been sitting on something and waiting for the right moment, this might be it. Head to squarespace.com/DAX for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code DAX to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. You've heard us talk about BetterHelp for a while, but I don't know that we've ever talked about how much people love this service when they use it. BetterHelp has an average live therapy session rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client session reviews. And you can check out the reviews yourself at betterhelp.com/reviews to see how much they love BetterHelp. Knowing that kind of service feedback from real people speaks for itself. I'm a huge proponent of therapy, as we've talked about before. I've learned so many things about myself that I believe truly only an outside objective person could help me come to. BetterHelp makes it easy to get started. Answer a few questions, get matched with a therapist based on your needs, and switch therapists at any time if it's not the right fit. See the reviews, see what stands out, and see if BetterHelp is right for you. Visit betterhelp.com/Dax. That's betterhelp.com/Dax.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
So then Bridesmaids happens. Was it a fight to get that?
No, it was crazy. But what happened was when I was doing Unaccompanied Minors at Warner Brothers, Judd called me up and said, hey, we're going to do a table read of Kristen's script, because I'd just put Kristen in Unaccompanied Minors in a tiny role. Judd always did these table reads. And so I really loved it, but I had another movie that I was probably going to do at Warner Brothers, and he wanted me to kind of shepherd it. I was like, I don't have time, but I gave a lot of notes and said, when they kind of generate a new script and it's coming around, let me know. But then it just disappeared for like 3 years.
That long?
Oh, yeah.
Now that I think about the timeline, they weren't greenlighting $30 million female-driven comedies.
No.
Judd became the thing they were betting on.
That's exactly it. So Judd's name made it able to happen. Also, because Kristen had been so good and Knocked Up, so that kind of made everybody want something for her, too. But I was in New York doing a bunch of internet ads for Macy's, one of them starring Donald Trump. So, yes, I directed Donald Trump.
Wow.
Wow.
Wait, we're not moving past that. And I want to keep this apolitical. I just more honestly, as someone who's directed other humans, I can kind of imagine what that experience might be like, because I feel like I'm seeing someone who's masking great insecurity with like hyper decisiveness and masculinity. And that's a tricky place to be as an actor.
This was 2010, so he was just kind of like a funny talk show guest if you didn't look back into some of the stuff he did politically. So he showed up and he was like a fan of The Office. I'd been told also, get him out fast. Like that's the best way to keep him happy. So this is like a documentary style thing. So I said, all right, everybody, when he gets here, meet him at the door with the cameras. Donald, we're ready to go. He's like, whoa, hold on. I got to get my makeup on and all that. So, okay, but we're ready. Comes out, we do the take. He was actually pretty good with ad-libbing and all that stuff. And it was kind of funny. And so we do a couple takes. I go, that's great. We got it. And he's like, oh my God, Paul, you're the greatest. See you later, everybody. I was like, wait, no, Donald, actually, so we got to reset because now we have to do the after part. So we got to reset up the whole booth. He's like, what? I was supposed to be out of here an hour ago.
Oh boy.
You've only been here for 45 minutes.
Oh my God.
I don't quite know how to be the master of space and time and get you out of here before you showed up. I got him out pretty quick, but I was kind of a wreck when he left because I was in such a panic. So he left and I was just kind of like, oh, okay, we're done. And the ad guys were like, no, you got to shoot all the other stuff that he's not in. I was like, wait, what am I shooting? What? But, it was fine. It was actually a really funny spot.
Were you getting at all triggered like high school memories? Like, oh God, here's the captain of the football team.
Little bit. Honestly, again, back then he was on Letterman and he was on Howard Stern.
He was a goof.
Yeah, a goofy blowhard.
A billionaire that's for some reason doing online Macy's commercials.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bridesmaids comes along, and you and I talked a bit about this at the dinner party, but as someone that had just been friends with Melissa at that point for 12, 13 years, saw her working, but never seen her do her unbelievable, once-in-a-lifetime comedic tornado. It was just this like, oh my God, finally, here she is. Yeah. I have to imagine that you being the first person to really put that on film, you must have been aware of it a bit.
Well, yeah, she came in very late in the game for the auditioning. We'd auditioned a lot of people, all really great people, but we were like, we haven't quite found it yet. Right at the end, Kristen and Annie Mumolo go, oh, we should see Melissa McCarthy. She's our friend in The Groundlings. I was like, okay, cool. I'm not sure why we didn't see her earlier, but yes, please bring her in. And she came in and she did it so different from the way everybody else did it that took me like 15 seconds to kind of go, what's she doing? And then it's like, this is hilarious. And then we just started playing around because I always do a lot of improv in these auditions. And she was coming up with all this stuff. It was really funny, but it was crazy stuff with a dolphin. And so we were just like, oh my God. So she left. And the way she tells it, in the ride home, she was just like, oh my God, I blew that. Why did I do all that stupid stuff? And we were just like, we got her. So we're all high-fiving around there. So we started doing these improv session rehearsals with the cast. And it was really then when she started being so inventive with everybody else. She was coming up with these crazy things that we started putting in. I mean, all that stuff in the dinner scene about female fight club, that came out of these improvs. And we're like, holy shit. So we're just like writing it down. And the big thing we did is there was supposed to be a call center woman, a bill collector, who keeps calling Annie in the movie. And Annie keeps like hanging up on her. And then after everything falls apart of the wedding, she gets a call from the woman when she's watching Castaway. And the woman's like, don't you hang up on me. And she kind of reads her the riot act on how to change your life. But we were kind of like, that's cool, but we've got this really great character. Why don't we make her be the one that does it? And so that's where that scene came from.
Now here's an interesting chapter that pretty much continues on to this day. Now you go from somebody who's, again, trying to get things to now having some options, having some agency, getting to direct a bit the course you're on. I want to come to understand more than just on a surface level of like, almost without exception, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies you make are female driven. Almost no need for any men.
Which I love.
Yeah, it's a great thing. You've been applauded for it. But I'm mostly interested in like, what is it about the dynamic of working with women that you find preferable?
It was a number of things. I was an only child. I grew up next to a family of 8 kids. 6 of them were girls. They were all my best friends. I was close with my mom. I had a lot of bullies in school. So all my friends were either girls or really nerdy dudes like myself. And then that combined with watching old movies with my mom where the male and female characters were really equals. And then seeing the movies of the 70s and the 80s and the 90s where the comedies got so male-centric and the roles for the women were so terrible. And then getting to know so many funny women when I was a stand-up and then going into acting, like knowing how funny they were. And they go, oh, I'm in this movie, and go see the movie. And you're like, you're not funny. Like, they didn't let you be funny. They made you be mean to the guy, so you're the shitty girlfriend. And then the final thing is just like, I just feel more in tune with those stories. As far as I'm concerned, I never need to do a movie that stars a dude, you know, because there's so many stories about women that I want to tell, and there's so many women I want to work with. And I just love it. You know, when we did the test screening for Bridesmaids, that dress shop scene, and when Maya Rudolph sinks down in the street, I've never heard an audience of women laugh that loud. It was like a religious experience where you're like, wow, you want to tap into these things that they don't get to see all the time and find things that are relatable in that way.
So what's interesting is like, I can't imagine you consciously did this, or maybe you did, but first was this kind of stereotype that like there wasn't going to be a female-driven comedy that was going to compete with the male-driven ones. Right. And then it surpassed most of them. And the next movie's The Heat. Now it's a buddy cop movie with women. It's its own genre that's not supposed to work with females. Were you conscious of it, or were you just making what's interesting to you at that point? Because then Spy comes again. There shouldn't be a female spy. She shouldn't look like this. Another genre challenging thing with women. Were you conscious of it, or is it just happening?
It's kind of just happening, really. I mean, The Heat was not The Heat. It was called the Untitled Female Buddy Cop Comedy. And that was actually on our swag. Like, literally, we couldn't give them the name until we almost came out. And I got sent this script that Katie Dippold wrote. I met Katie because I directed an episode of Parks and Rec in the first season, and she was one of the writers. And I just thought it was the funniest script. And I had a meeting with her, and she was saying what her motivation was. She loved buddy cop movies. She's like, how come the women always have to be on the back of the moped in a bikini and they get to have all the fun? And she was like, I want to do one where we flip it. And I was like, I love that, because I was so excited that I was finally getting to make female-fronted things, which I've been pitching throughout my career and could never get made because they say, well, they don't make money and all that bullshit. Then when I was in post-production on The Heat, Skyfall came out. But I'm a Bond fanatic, and I always want to make a James Bond movie, but I know nobody's going to let me make a Bond movie. Right. So I was kind of like, oh, I want to make one, but I'll make a female one because I know Melissa, and we can flip the genre. And that was it. And I have so many haters now because of Ghostbusters who would like, oh, you're social justice warriors. Like, no, guy, I'm just telling you, I know all these funny women. I want to write projects for them. I do think that audience is underrepresented. So if that makes me a social justice warrior, so be it. But I'm just trying to entertain a section of the audience that doesn't normally get entertained. And that to me is, I hate to say called good business because I don't do it for that reason. But if it makes people money, I got to keep making movies.
Yes. I would love to hear what your walkaway feelings are of of the Ghostbusters experience, but you're trying every fucking genre and it's working. Like Bridesmaids makes 288, The Heat makes fucking 229, The Spy makes 235. So you're winning. So then it's like, okay, well, let's fucking try Ghostbusters. If ever there was like a beloved male genre-ish thing, first of all, I doubt you could explain it to me. I remember watching the hubbub and I kept thinking, is there hubbub or is there 10 people that the media is covering and making it seem like there's some kind of consensus? Like, this has happened to movies. Do you remember at Costner's height, all of a sudden people wanted him to fail, I think. And so he makes Waterworld, right? And, and it's already rumored to be so over budget. Before you've ever heard anything about what the movie's about, you've heard it's a bomb.
The knives come out, totally.
Yes, it can't recoup. So then it taints the well. And I remember I reluctantly saw it because I too thought, well, they shit the bed on this one. I was even young and I knew that. And I saw it, I was like, this movie is fucking awesome. It's Road Warrior on the water. What is the problem here? They kind of ruined that movie before it ever came out. It didn't have a shot. And I feel like similarly, Ghostbusters is that way. After some time away from it and some clarity, what do you think happened? Was it just like a flashpoint in our society?
Yeah, I think it was a weird flashpoint. I walked into it just like kind of lamb to the slaughter because, I'd been contacted first by Ivan. They had a script for the sequel. Friends of mine wrote it and stuff. I was just kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to step into that. Then Amy Pascal really sat me down. She was like, this great franchise is sitting there. Why won't anybody touch it? And so I went to this whole thing. Here's why we won't touch it. It's comedy gold.
It's too good, right?
Yeah, it's canon. Exactly. But I walked away from there going like, yeah, but it's a great idea. And so I thought, I don't want to compete with the other one with Bill and all those guys. I know Bill didn't want to do one. Harold had just died. So I was like, what's the safest way to do this? Let's just reboot it. Start it again. We're just taking the idea and doing it in a new way. And then it was like, well, how would I do it? How do I not compete with those guys? I know. I work with all these funny women. Let's do a female Ghostbusters. It was as innocent as that.
Yeah.
And I put out this tweet when we closed the deal and everything, which I still regret. I'll sell it as an NTF or something one of these days, or NFT or whatever the fuck they call it. It was like, I'm rebooting Ghostbusters. I'm going to do it with an all-female cast. That's who I'm going to call.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, there you go. Up to this point, I had this amazing relationship with the internet because of Freaks and Geeks and Bridesmaids and everything. I knew people get flamed and trolled, but I never got it. So I was kind of like, oh, this will be fun. And the first day, just joy is coming in. I was like, oh my God, we're so happy. Everybody's like celebrating. So I go to bed like, oh my God, this is great. Wake up the next morning and you pick up Twitter and you're like, oh my God. Then it just got vicious and it just never let up. I saw the original Ghostbusters. I was just graduating from film school. So, I was in my 20s. First showing, we were there. We loved it. Thought it was so hilarious. It just blew my mind that you could do a comedy that also had sci-fi and all that stuff in it. But I wasn't a kid running around my neighborhood playing Ghostbusters.
It's not the seminal moment of your childhood.
No, I was like, this is a great comedy that we should take that idea and do it again. And I had no idea that it meant so much to so many of these young guys. I don't blame anybody for getting mad about somebody remaking something that they liked because, it's dangerous. I just thought it would be fun.
No, I can see myself doing the exact same thing because the thing I got offered that I turned down that I couldn't believe I was turning down, but yet I knew better was Fletch. I got offered to play Fletch and I was like, I can't win. No one can win. How is it going to be done? Exactly. There has to be something completely upside down about it so that there's no comparison. So I could see going on this path. Now, here's one question I have. When you saw the fervor, the reaction, was there a debate either internally or even with others saying like, you know what, we should bail out of this? And then the counter being, well, then we're backing down to this kind of misogynistic thing.
You know what? We had written the script by that point, and we were really happy with the script, and we knew who we wanted to cast and all that. So
you're like, we'll just win them over with a great movie.
Yeah, because I felt the media was definitely amplifying them more than they needed to be amplified, even though there was a lot of them out there, but a lot, 5,000 people compared to millions and millions of people. So it's kind of like, no, it was just going to be too much fun. We were designing cool stuff. We were really having a great time. So yeah, you just kind of go like, it'll be great. I'm very proud of the movie. I'm glad I made the movie. I stand by it. People come up to me all the time with young boys going, it's his favorite movie.
It's a very specific generation that was upset.
Oh, yeah.
Above and Below was so excited.
I can't imagine you have regrets about it, nor was I implying you should. Just more like met at the gate with roses 3 in a row, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, you're virtually doing the same thing you just did the 3 previous times. What the fuck just happened? happened? I thought we were all in on this now.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing for me is like, you guys know I made these other 3 movies. Like, look at who's in those other movies. This is not like a new idea I had.
He's like, oh, that's the Achilles of this whole thing?
I know.
It's interesting.
It was just very silly, though. I mean, at the end of the day, it was me waking up as a man then in his 50s, I guess. Yeah. Oh, my God. It's all my bullies from high school. And that was the biggest thing of just like, I regressed to being like a teenager again. You're like, all those insecurities, like, why is everybody being so mean to me? You're getting death threats. It's like, what's happening?
I'm just a nice boy who wants to make a fun movie.
I want to make a movie about ghosts and got funny people that try to chase them. And, you know.
All right, then you do Simple Favor, which is a great hit, and Last Christmas was just a hit. And then I want to talk about what's coming up next. And when we all had dinner, you were in the middle of making this. I also want to comment that obviously your style increases every time.
Thank you.
Cinematically, they're getting better and better. You start with some great relationship with comedians and knowing how to get performances, but then I've seen the filmmaking itself just keep growing and growing and growing, and you deserving the budgets you're given. Have you yourself felt this growing wisdom of the visual aspect of the medium?
Well, yeah, because, you know, when you start out, you want to be visual, but especially with comedy, it's all about the performances. Like, you know, I can make the greatest looking comedy, but if the performances aren't great, my DP, who I love, John Schwartzman, a lot of times he's like, you got it, because to him, the camera move was perfect. I'm like, yeah, John, camera move was great. I don't have it yet. Like, I got to get 10 more of these. I'd rather have 10% less great, you know, angle or lighting if the performance is going to be great.
Well, and then even like, we're geeking out way too much about this monocle put down, but I will say, like, the people that I admire the most, like Scorsese famously, right? There's a fucked up shot in Casino where Sharon Stone's having her breakdown. There's a huge bobble in the camera, which you would never see in a Scorsese movie. And he had plenty of takes where there was no bobble. But it's great to see, like, at the end of the day, his priority was that as well.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, he's also doesn't care about continuity. And I'm kind of that way, too. It's like, it's so funny. You'll shoot and the people go like, oh, you can't use that take, can't use that take. It's like, okay. Trust me. Whatever take you hated is going to end up in the movie because it was really funny or that performance was great. The audience doesn't care.
My defense as the actor is always like, if someone noticed my collar was up on the left and down on the right, I've failed miserably at this
Exactly.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Thank you to our presenting sponsor, HP, for supporting this episode. Parent, you've got enough on your back-to-school list right now. Ink cartridges do not need to be on it. They just don't. The HP Smart Tank printer uses a refillable ink tank and comes with up to 3 years of ink included. It's the last printer you'll ever need. To learn more, search HP Smart Tank.
This episode is supported by Helix.
So I've had my Helix mattress for a few years now, and I still love it just as much as the first night. That says a lot because a good night's sleep is very important to me.
Sleep is everything. And what's great about Helix is that it's not a guessing game with finding the right mattress because they have over 20 models, so you can find the one that actually fits how you sleep. And with that summer heat upon us, Helix has cooling upgrades that can get you the best rest even on hot nights.
I have a Helix Midnight Luxe mattress. I really like the level of firmness it has, but that might not be right for you. They have so many options, and you just go take the quiz, and it is perfectly matched for your needs, which is incredible. I also highly, highly recommend the cooling upgrade, especially in the summer. It makes your sleep so much better. If you're still tossing and turning on a mattress that's not working for you, just trust us on this one.
Go to helixsleep.com/armchair for 20% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/armchair for 20% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/armchair. We are supported by Auto Trader. All right, if you've been putting off car shopping because it sounds like a whole thing, buying your car online on Auto Trader makes it way easier, really. You can shop tons of cars online, compare prices, check financing and trade-in options, all from wherever you are. And if you want to start online and go to the dealership for a test drive, you can do that too, really. What I like is the flexibility. Start online, finish at the dealer, or the other way around. Your info stays with you, so you're not starting the process from scratch. Plus, you're working with local dealer listings, so you've got real people helping behind the scenes. And when you're ready, you can pick up your car or have it delivered, really. Buy your car online on Auto Trader, really.
We get support from Skims. Oh man, do I love Skims. I've been living in the Skims lightweight cotton collection all summer, and I have to tell you, getting dressed has become so easy. I just throw it on. It just feels right immediately, whether I'm grabbing coffee or I'm on the couch all day or I'm out, even going to dinner. The cotton is so lightweight and breathable, which in this heat is a non-negotiable. The cotton jersey t-shirt, I just need everyone to know about this one. This one hugs in all the right places. It's very soft and it still looks and fits the same after months of washing, which is very hard to do, I feel, with t-shirts. I've been wearing the black cotton jersey t-shirt with basically everything all summer long. It goes great with any patterned skirt or shorts or pants. I mean, anything, truly. I believe that's probably my favorite piece from the cotton collection, but they also have great lightweight cotton thongs that are so comfortable and they're cute. That is a very, very hard mix to achieve, especially with undergarments. I feel if you can find some that are cute, but also comfortable and do the job, that is a win. And Skims has really, really figured that out with the lightweight cotton collection. Shop Skims Cotton and all of my favorite pieces at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select Armchair Expert in the drop-down menu that follows.
Okay, so your new movie is The School for Good and Evil, which is like a epic tentpole movie. Charlize Theron, Kerry Washington.
Yeah.
Is it the longest schedule you've ever had?
It's turned into the longest schedule.
Well, also COVID.
Yeah, totally. But even because of that, I mean, we ended up doing some additional photography. I don't want to say reshoots because it sounds bad.
Yeah. It sounds like I didn't do it perfect the first time.
Exactly. We just found we had our test screenings. People loved the movie. There's just been a couple things they're like, I don't understand this. So I was like, oh, we need to explain that. But no, I'm really having so much fun on this movie. And after doing Ghostbusters, I so enjoyed doing big special effects. But then, Simple Favor and Last Christmas were very pared down, obviously. And I kind of was jonesing again to have an art department do all that stuff. And so we're going for it. But I'm really happy with how it's going.
Yeah, it would make sense that you would have an aesthetic. Like you're someone who actually is clearly visually stimulated the way you dress. You care about those things. There's levels. And when you're on a $20 million movie, you get some really talented people that know how to work with nothing.
Yeah.
And then when you give people the keys to the kingdom that are like, would have been Picasso's in their day, that's an exciting thing to witness and be a part of, right?
Oh, when you let them fly, I spent all this time in Budapest when doing Spy, and I fell in love with Art Nouveau with Andy Nicholson, my production designer. I was like, let's make this school Art Nouveau. And then he takes it and runs with it, and you're like bringing stuff, and it's like, oh my God, it's so much fun.
And you start feeling even guiltier, right? Because you're like, oh my God, now that I have access to all these great people, like they're making me look so good.
Oh, totally.
Okay, and now you also have, it's so on brand. If ever you were going to do a spirit, of course it would be gin.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Very fancy.
And
Thank
people
you.
may not know this about you, but you're a full-blown alcoholic. So
I think a lot of people do know that about me.
how does one go from enjoying gin to deciding, I think I need my own gin?
I've always loved adult grown-up life. When I was a kid, I didn't want to be a kid. I wanted to be an adult. I would watch Bewitched, and they would mix martinis when they come home. So I was like, I want to drink martinis. But I'd had a bad experience with gin as a kid because you went down to somebody's parents' bar and you open it up and like, oh, it smells like pine sol.
Not a great thing to take a shot of.
Totally. So I'm like, oh, well, I hate gin. So when I started drinking martinis, I was like, okay, I'll do vodka martinis. And I was drinking those. But then as I got into studying cocktails, and this is 25, 30 years ago, I read a thing that said like a real martini is a gin martini.
Oh, do you know that, Monica? Is that common knowledge?
Yeah, it's common.
If you go to a bar and you say, I want a martini, they should automatically give you a gin martini. They don't do that, but they should.
Really?
It's either, oh, I'll have martini or I'll have a vodka martini. Yes. But I was like, oh, I don't like gin. I better teach myself how to like gin. So it was all like Beefeaters and those things, really super juniper-y, piney kind of thing. But I kind of grew to like them. But at the same time, I was just doing all this research and like finding different types of gins and realizing, oh, they don't all have to be like that. And so over the years, everywhere we go internationally, try gins and would find all these ones I really liked, but I never found the one that I loved. And so finally, 5 years ago, was able to link up with Minhas Distillery.
How do you make gin? What is the base grain?
In a nutshell, gin is basically vodka that you put a tea bag in.
Interesting.
It's ethanol, which is the base of it. And then you have this thing called the basket. And the basket is where you put all the botanicals. And it depends how you stack them, in what order you put them in. And then the ethanol goes into the still. The basket goes into the still, too. It percolates like a big teapot. Steeps, and it runs through. And that's how you get the flavors. So that's why there can be an infinite number of gins in the world, because it's just the flavor profile. We have 11 botanicals in mine. There's ones out there that have like 45 botanicals in them. But I don't like those kinds because I don't think you can taste kind of anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the dashboard on the 90s Pontiacs. There was like 600 buttons. Like, what?
Wait, what am I, flying a plane? Come on.
Does this car do this much stuff?
So I got my own gin called Ardingstall's Brilliant London Dry Gin.
Which is your mom's maiden name?
It was my mom's maiden name because I wanted it to sound like a gin that had been around for 150 years out of England.
Yeah, pronounce it again.
Ardingstall.
Does sound very British.
Now, I had a brief affair with gin. It was in my phase where everyone was into swing dancing, and I would have a Tom Collins, which has gin. Yeah, Tom Collins.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Delicious.
And then a gin and tonic I enjoyed a bit. I want to say, and this is such horseshit, I'm sure there's no science or molecular or anything to back this up, but I found it to be less of a hangover gin. Is that a kind of a rumor about gin?
The clear spirits are your best bet for not getting a hangover. I've heard lately that tequila doesn't give you a hangover, which I beg to differ.
Just the amount. It's not the spirit.
But the clear spirits are a little friendlier, too, because they don't have the sugar that whiskey and that kind of thing has.
Well, and also if you have like gout, you're not supposed, I mean, I hate to say this, but you're supposed to stay away from the brown liquors.
Well, you should probably not be
gout.
drinking.
Well, I'm not drinking at all.
Not you. No. I just mean if you have gout, maybe you just like take a break from drinking.
How do you think you got gout, though?
Exactly.
Means you can't stop.
Can you tell us what the botanicals are?
I can tell you some of them.
Okay.
Some are secret.
Proprietary.
Some are secret.
We got citrus peel in there. We got some black pepper in there, which is nice. It gives it a little spice on the back end. Cassia root.
Spoken like a director, loves his back end.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Amen to that.
Doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist. I was just going to say goodbye back
in your gin.
Hello, buyout. Exactly. It's lightly citrusy, a little floral, but with this kind of peppery backbite. And we've won a lot of awards. Our very first competition, we won Best Gin and Best in Show.
The WSWA, but I wanted to ask, is that real?
Pal.
What is the WSWA?
It's big. It's the Worldwide Spirits Wholesalers Association.
Of
Wow.
course.
I
There you
want to
go.
try it.
Were people drinking it at the party?
We had it there, yeah, but now Stanley has gone over to a rival.
Oh, he has his own.
Yes, exactly.
What a hilarious evolution. It used to be you'd be at one of these dinner parties with people that you lost film roles to or people whose movie opened bigger than yours. And the notion now that many actors are sitting around and like their spirits are
Competing
tracking
spirit companies.
So wild.
Have a spirit throwdown, exactly. A bottle fight. All right, get away from me. It's the gin wars. I love it. It's very fun.
Just one peculiar thing you did, but not really, because as we discussed, you're a famous alcoholic. You would do this quarantine cocktail time.
Yeah.
Another thing that you and our host shared in common, because he famously made a cocktail on Instagram and it became like all the rage.
It was.
Who started this? You or Stanley?
I started because we were in the middle of shooting this TV show that's on now that I produced called Welcome to Flatch. And we were going to do the pilot. We got a day in and then I shut it down because COVID was, going crazy. And came back to LA and knew I was going to be sitting around for probably a couple of months and thought, I want to help out with the pandemic, but I don't know what to do. I'm not a medical professional. So maybe I'll just try to entertain people during it. So I was like, every day without taking a break, I'll do a cocktail show where we'll raise money for charity, for COVID charities, and then we'll kind of have fun.
Right.
And so it just started from that. And then I just started doing it every single day, never took a day off. And, we'd get a lot of viewers, but then Stanley made his one thing. He had more viewers for his muscly arms making that Negroni than I had for like 100 days straight of doing it. So don't take on Stanley.
If he had dropped dead at that dinner party, now knowing what I know, you would be my primary suspect.
Why, whatever do you mean, sir? Here, Stanley, drink this. I'm so happy for Stanley. First of all, who cooks a better meal
Oh my
than Stanley?
God.
Yeah.
That food that night was like
incredible.
He didn't have have to try to wow everyone with his volume like I did. He walked the walk. I was talking the talk.
It was a combo with the two of you together.
What a pairing.
Perfect yin and yang, exactly.
Okay, and then the last thing I have to tell you about before we go is I haven't seen it yet, but I don't think I've received more messages on Instagram about any show ever than I have the Minx, because I'm very out loud in public about how much I enjoy seeing penises in movies and in TV shows. It's like my
Well, there you go.
favorite thing. Did you watch Righteous Gemstones?
Yeah.
Excessive amount of penis. And then not only that, but the staging of the penis behind Danny playing on a thing and it's right over his
Exactly.
face. I love it.
It's funny.
They're so stupid, penises.
Oh, no, totally. Well, then Minx is a show for you. I'll tell you that one.
Well, yes, so I just keep getting like every day people are like, are you watching Minx? Penis across the board.
Wow.
Everywhere. And I watched the trailer today, and of course it's about the first 4 women erotica magazine. I guess it must be loosely based on Playgirl.
Yeah, it's like a fictional retelling of the origins of Playgirl magazine. But, you know, Ellen Rappaport, who runs the show and created it, when she came in and pitched it to us, first of all, we brought a huge stack of Playgirl magazines that we then took around to all these pitch meetings. And everybody's so happy to see those magazines. We'd leave them behind. I'm so proud of this show. I'm really happy that people are digging it, too.
Yeah, we're huge fans of Jake Johnson.
He's the best.
He is. He's got like another gear as well, which is like he could have been in all the 70s Scorsese movies.
Well, he's like Downey Jr. They're so effortless. You just fall into their web that they're spinning because you're just like, oh, you're so cool. Like you never see them working, you know?
No, effortless, authentic. Yeah, it's awesome. Well, Paul, what a delight. Everyone should get hammered tonight on Ardingstall's.
That's right.
Can you buy it anywhere?
Here's the best way to do it. Go to ardingstallsgin.com and you can find out where to buy it. We're getting into a lot of stores all over the place. You know, we're going into Bevmo's and all that. And if you're in the UK, go to the Whiskey Exchange or go to Amazon UK and you can get us through that.
Oh, awesome. So I'm going to spell it for my fellow dyslexics. ARTINGSTALLSGIN.com.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, what a pleasure.
Oh, my God. Thank you. So good to see you guys.
Yeah, may we be so lucky as to find ourselves at another dinner party. This time I'll try to come in at like 100% instead of 120.
Don't you dare.
Exactly.
To keep your foot on the throttle,
I
Shepard.
want 200, man. I want 200.
That'll involve shirtless and in some really tight shorts. So
That's all I ask.
thanks, Paul. Be well.
Cheers.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman.
We are supported by HP. If you're a parent or you know one, like I do, or you can help take care of kids, you already know what August feels like. It's not summer anymore, it's the pregame. The supplies list, the forms, the we need this printed by tomorrow texts that come in at 9 p.m. And I say this as someone who's been on the receiving end of those texts in a former life. You're ready to help, and then the printer says no, out of ink, blinking at you, useless. It's such a small thing, but it will absolutely derail your night. So when I heard about the HP Smart Tank printer from HP, America's most trusted printer brand, I thought this is the kind of thing that actually makes life easier, not in a big flashy way, in a one less crisis way. Instead of those little cartridges that run out the second you need them, the HP Smart Tank uses refillable ink tanks, and it comes with up to 3 years of ink included. 3 years. That's 3 back-to-school seasons without the cartridge panic. HP can't fill out the forms for you, but they can make sure the printer is never the reason you're up past midnight. Search HP Smart Tank.
I'm having my very favorite thing. My new very favorite thing. I'm late to it.
Pimento cheese. It's a Southern delicacy.
Why is that? Why wouldn't we in the North be all about pimento cheese?
Spicy cheese.
Spicy, but you didn't have it in Chicago, did you?
No, but my grandparents were in Tennessee, and we had it whenever we'd go down to Tennessee.
I just think that's an interesting, why is this dip regional to the South?
I mean, I think the South puts a lot of mayonnaise and cream cheese and stuff in their dishes. So it's like a cream cheese with pimento.
And chunks of seemingly cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
It's a dynamite dip.
The internet has an answer.
Oh.
It's because it doesn't spoil easily at room temperature.
Oh. And
That's
people in the
interesting.
South don't have refrigerators.
Guess so.
But it's easy to pack in lunch boxes, particularly for textile workers. But it was also fashionable as a sandwich in tea rooms.
Oh my gosh, I would love a little sandwich pimento.
Yes, very yummy.
Aaron and I, when we were in northern Michigan visiting our friend Sweet Jack, we went to Meijer and we got about 600 pounds of salami and about 3 gallons of pimento dip. And we would make these little burritos, like so you piece of salami smeared with pimento rolled up. Unreal. Could make this doctor's menu. Oh my gosh, you're being abducted.
Silver alert.
Okay, what's that? There's a silver medal winner somewhere?
No. Missing endangered elderly.
Oh,
Yeah.
and they did it silver, like silver hair?
Probably.
Oh, wow.
Everyone's
Bunch
gonna
of
get
them.
it.
No, not me.
You don't have them on?
God, no. You know what I said to myself? I lived 45 years without being alerted. I did just fine. That's how I told myself I don't need any of those alerts.
Well, it's not for you. It's for the family of the elderly person missing so that everyone can keep their eye out.
All right. Well, you had to spin it. I'm thinking more of like, there's a hurricane coming. There's a COVID numbers are this. Just that's what I associate with those alarms.
Got it. I get that. Tornado and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Also, it'd be great if it were refined enough because they do these like missing child alerts, right?
Amber, yes.
Amber, okay. And they'll tell you the car that the person was driving. And it's great info if you're on the highway.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting at home, my phone knows I'm at home, then I don't need that info because I'm not going to see that person.
Well, you don't know. They could be stopping by for dinner.
Oh.
You could look out your window and be like, oh my God, that's
these impromptu
Randy.
dinner
It's
guests.
Randy.
It's
there must be a kid in there.
Is he in a Corolla 78J32? Oh my gosh, it's Randy,
Randy
and Sandy, his son.
Yeah.
You're upset I don't have those alerts. I can feel it.
No, I don't care.
Okay.
I just wonder why, because I don't think you did anything to make that happen.
No, I did. I go inside all my settings and I turn all the alarms off.
Oh.
All the
There you go.
public service alarms.
I think it's a fun pop out.
You like it.
Yeah.
It's also nice to know how many people are missing all the time too. It makes me feel better.
Makes me feel grateful that I'm
Not
not missing. Yeah.
That's another way to look at it. It's a gratitude alarm is what it really is.
I had my phone off last night and I thought, I wonder if people will think I'm missing.
Oh.
No one did. Paul Feig.
What a fucking story about Ronald McDonald.
I know. And I guess it's a ding, ding, ding because he directed Bridesmaids and we were just at a wedding.
Oh, sure. Sure.
That's a connection.
I'll buy that. We were at a wedding, Bridesmaids. I'm from Michigan. He's from Michigan.
That's right.
You're like him. You're a
I'm
woman.
not at all
He
like
wants to
him.
work with you because you're a woman.
Oh, that would be
Never-
great.
Never work with me because I'm a man. Ding, ding, ding.
He's so lovely.
But you know what's great about him is once I found out he had been a performer, that made it so fun. I was like, oh, this guy was a comedian and an actor. This will be funner than your average director conversation simply because, he's got some performer in him.
Yeah.
And boy, did he put on a show. I was laughing in stitches.
Me too. The Ronald McDonald part was hilarious. And that does lead to a fact. Are there currently Ronald McDonalds? No.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. In 2016, McDonald's officially retired Ronald.
Because he didn't change with the times? Because
No.
of sexual impropriety?
Well, after a series of, quote, creepy clown sightings popped up across the United States.
This is real now. We transitioned into real.
Yeah, it's real. In
No, I know, but I was making a joke about him being a Me Tooer or something. Okay.
As they escalated from random harmless sightings to seeing clowns carrying weapons, it seemed like a really bad time to be a clown.
Oh, this goes back to Arquette.
I know, and he hates that. He hates that some people are giving clowns a bad name.
Yeah, the Joker, a lot of anti-clown heroes right now. Poor Ronald, he couldn't make it.
I know. 2016, he had a long run, though.
Let's not count him out because if there's a resurgence or a renaissance, a clown renaissance, I can imagine them putting him back in the game.
I would do it.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would, because I did a clown class, and I was really good at it.
I know, but I did a home ec class, and that doesn't mean that I would sew for a living.
Were you really good at it?
No.
Okay, that's
All
the
right.
difference.
Okay, but you would not be Ronald McDonald.
Now it's a challenge.
Oh, gosh. This is great. This is my reverse peer pressure for you. You just heard that they get physically assaulted nonstop. Like, imagine you getting attacked by 6 kids. You think you could...
Maybe they wouldn't do it because I'd be in a smaller suit, obviously to fit my small body, and maybe they would go easy on me.
You'd still have the enormous feet, as did Paul.
Yeah, I could do that.
What's interesting is I should do it because I'm looking for some action at all times.
That's true.
I kind of want to get attacked by 6.
Well, he said he had a body. You could be my bodyguard.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm in. You could be Ronald McDonald.
You're going to have to get on board with my clown persona. It's different than Miniature Mouse.
I will love it because I'm always encouraging you to show us your characters.
So, okay, he said something early on about blowfish, and that was a ding, ding, ding for me because I had just heard this. I had never heard this. Did you know about blowfish is a delicacy?
Yeah, and it's potentially
Lethal.
deadly.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Now, what makes it, he was hinting at, I don't know if he was joking or if it's the way you cut it. You cut this part, you don't cut that part.
Well, yeah. Blowfish, known in Japan as fugu, is a highly prized delicacy both as sashimi or as an ingredient in soup. But the fish's liver, ovaries, and skin contain the poison tetrodotoxin, and the parts must be removed by specifically trained and licensed preparers. So I guess if just like a little piece
Bit of that
gets
skin.
in, you get dead.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you have to sign like a disclaimer if you're.
Have you had it?
No, I'm not. I'm not risking that.
Yeah, it seems like of all the things to risk life and death for, that is way low. That to me, that's tied with Everest.
I guess that's true, but at least it's like you're eating something yummy.
Maybe. You hope. You hope. People also eat like yak balls and
I know, it might be
monkey eyeballs
gross.
and
You get numbness and paralysis 20 minutes to 3 hours after ingestion. These spread to the whole body, in serious cases leading to death by respiratory failure.
oh my God, it paralyzes you.
Yeah. Oof.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, it's intense.
I mean, it better be the best thing you've ever put in your mouth.
It might be. We'll never know.
I wonder what the percentage of people that eat it die from it is. How about this? If the Emily burger, 1 in 1,000 people who ate it died of it. And it is the best hamburger in the world. We already know that.
Yeah.
Would you eat it?
I want to say yeah, but no.
I would not.
Yeah,
I would not. And I love that.
I know.
I mean, I almost would say if you told me I could cut my pinky toe off and that would give me a magic power that anytime I wanted an Emily burger, I'd snap my fingers and I'd be holding it. I would probably do that. I would cut my pinky toe off for that superpower. Would you?
No.
What are you doing with your pinky toe?
My feet are also a delicacy, ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
Some people really enjoy my feet.
Oh, right, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of you to keep.
He made me show him my feet and my shoes at the wedding.
Oh,
And
wow.
they weren't lotioned up, so I was a little embarrassed, but he said they still looked really nice.
Okay. Do you ever look in his groin area to see if there's any
No,
activity?
I don't need to do that.
Okay. You trust that he's fully aroused?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I believe in myself.
Well, for people who either don't know or don't remember, I one time came over to Eric's house and I walked in the backyard and there I found Miniature Mouse and Eric. Eric had a cheese grater and he was grinding your feet, taking skin off your heels.
Yeah,
and
making them perfect.
Right. It was quite a scene to walk into.
Did you feel inappropriate? Like, I shouldn't be in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I was like, this is a sensual activity.
Yep.
I don't know how sensual she knows it is. But alas, there you guys were.
Yeah, he loves feet. That's known.
yeah.
And he likes mine.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I find it incredibly flattering because if somebody,
Fetishizes feet.
and then they like yours,
Yeah.
that's a very high compliment.
They're an expert.
Exactly.
Right. It's like if I tell you got a cool car.
Exactly.
Right. Or you told me that I had a great handstand.
Yeah.
You've never told me that. I'm just saying if.
That's true. Like sometimes I'll tell Lincoln, like, oh, that cartwheel's really good. And I mean it. And I think she knows it's coming from a high source.
Exactly. An expert.
Yeah.
You know, expert approval.
Okay. How many floors can cats jump off a window?
Oh, God. I hope you found the thing I was talking about.
I think I did.
Okay, great. It's a bad one, but
Okay.
it needs to be
how
known.
this cat survived a 32-story fall.
Whoa.
Okay.
32. I wasn't even.
I have to read about this.
Okay.
32 stories above the streets of New York City, a cat fell from a window and lived. After vets treated the cat's chipped tooth and collapsed lungs, the feline was sent home 2 days later. Cats fall a lot, and they've gotten really good at it. Drop a cat upside down, for example, and it will almost always land on its feet. That's because cats are extremely flexible. They can twist their bodies midair as they fall. But landing feet first isn't always the best strategy. Like if you're falling from 32 stories up. To figure out how cats manage that perfect landing every time, a series of studies looked at over 100 cats' falls from 2 to 32 stories up.
Okay.
Comes as no surprise that cats who fell from the second floor had fewer injuries than cats who fell from the sixth floor. But here's the fascinating part. Above the seventh story, the extent of the injuries largely stayed the same, no matter how high the cats fell.
Oh my God, could you drop them out of an airplane?
I don't know. Well, it comes down to acrobatics or lack thereof. Cats that fell from 2 to 7 stories up mostly landed feet first. Above that, however, cats used a different technique. Instead of positioning their legs straight down as they fell, they splayed out like a parachuter and landed belly first instead.
Oh, flying squirrel technique.
But this method isn't 100% foolproof. Chest trauma, like a collapsed lung or broken rib, is more common with this landing method, but the risk of breaking a leg is much less. So how do cats somehow subconsciously know how to land? It has to do with the physics phenomenon called terminal velocity. At first, the cat plummets faster and faster under gravity until this is a she cat, until she's fallen the equivalent of 5 stories. At that point, she hits constant terminal velocity at 100 kilometers per hour. She's now in free fall where air friction counteracts her acceleration under gravity. At this point, she's no longer accelerating and more importantly, doesn't feel the pull from gravity. So here's what researchers think is happening. From 2 to 7 stories up, cats don't have enough time to reach terminal velocity and prep for landing feet first. But once they hit terminal velocity, their instinct changes and they parachute their limbs.
Oh, wow. Okay, so in this particular study, in quotes, they really just looked at existing falls.
Yeah, they didn't throw them out.
The thing I heard was like they were conducting an experiment. Maybe that's apocryphal.
Yeah, I hope that this is correct.
And it's not at all the thing I said, which is that they relax. I can't believe they can fall out of a 32-story.
And parachute their bodies?
What's weird about terminal velocity, I guess it's not weird, but, you know, I want to say humans' terminal velocity is like 87 miles an hour, something like that.
Okay.
But, of course, these parachuters, they can dive and they can hit hundreds of miles. Or not hundreds, but like 150 or something. But it seems bizarre that all you would hit is 87 miles an hour, doesn't it? I mean, I accept it as the law of physics, but it does seem like you keep picking up speed.
It does seem weird because, like, you drive faster than that.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
118 miles per hour.
Is human terminal velocity?
For a human skydiver, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what happens at the end of fireworks? You said crescendo. Finale.
Finale.
Yeah.
The grand finale.
Sure.
That's how I always hear it.
Oh,
here
yeah?
comes the grand finale.
Okay, yeah.
Is that what you heard growing up?
I mean, both.
Okay.
That's just like a fancy word to put in front of it.
Yeah,
It's a
but
grand word to put in front of it.
yeah, you're
It's
right.
a
I mean,
bland word.
there can't be more than one finale, so it doesn't really need
Right.
adjustment, I suppose. But grand finale is always what we said. Oh my God, this must be the grand finale. You know, because all of a sudden more are going off than should be.
Sounds so childish.
It is. Well, everyone's a kid when they watch fireworks. That's what's so great about it.
Yeah, I do love fireworks.
Remember, I would say in my top 2 ever watching fireworks is in Michigan.
I know, July 4th. It was so lovely.
Grand Haven, laying on the beach.
Grand Haven?
Yeah.
Finale?
The Grand Haven finale. We were laying on the beach. Right, there was a pier in sight, a very cinematic pier. That's where they were launching the firecrackers from. And boy, we got a Grand Haven finale.
It was really, really fun.
That was mystical and enchanted.
It was enchanted.
It was incredibly enchanted. There was a little bit of mist in the air that night. So it was when the rocket's red flared and the bombs bursted in air, it lit up a lot of the water molecules in the air. Do you remember? It was like getting refracted by a lot of moisture in the air over Lake Michigan.
Oh.
I think that's what made it so enchanting.
I don't remember that part. I just remember the enchantment.
The enchantness.
Okay, you know what's interesting? We talked about train spotting having like a really intense part about poop, like toilet.
Well, interestingly, Train Spotting does have that, but we were talking about Slumdog Millionaire.
We started also talking about Slumdog Millionaire. So those were both in the same conversation, but they're both Danny Boyle.
Yeah, he likes Pootie.
Oh my God, we'd get along so well.
We sure would.
Wow. Hottest summer on record in Los Angeles. Because he said when he was working at the theme
Universal.
park that it was the hottest summer on record. So the hottest summer, the highest temperature recorded among all Los Angeles County weather stations was 120 degrees Fahrenheit in Woodland Hills on September 6th, 2020.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs.
So also this was after he worked it.
Yeah.
So maybe up until then it was the hottest summer.
Yeah, he didn't work there in 2020. He's a very successful director. I don't know why.
Well, maybe he wanted to get back to his roots.
Maybe he's trying to get the pension. Like maybe that's a union job, and if he does X amount of days a year, he keeps his good standing with the union. Kind of like us, actually, actors. You got to act enough to keep your insurance.
I was actually gonna say, although is it residuals that does it? What about people who take like 4 years off? What are they doing with their insurance?
I know. And by the way, I don't really want to act again. And it's occurred to me, I'm going to have to act some just to keep my insurance.
But you'll have residuals, and I bet yours will be enough to cover. It's like $15,000.
I don't think the residuals count.
Yeah, they do.
They do?
Yeah.
I think you can afford insurance too.
Well, that's the thing. I wonder, do they just move to a different insurance? Obviously, they can afford it, but it is a hassle and a pain to go back and forth. So then I wonder.
Not only is it a hassle and a pain back and forth, but because I'm on the same policy I've always been on, I think it's a manageable thing. If I went to another insurer, brand new, and they looked at my injury pass thing, it would be pretty astronomical, I have to imagine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, also SAG insurance is cheap. I mean, it's so much cheaper than others. It's crazy.
Right.
I've been on and off.
Oh, because you get to pay and keep your policy when they're not paying? Is that how you know that?
I haven't done it I haven't luckily had to do it in a long time, except I lost my insurance.
I remember.
Yeah, I just didn't get it until the new year.
You hadn't filed something?
I didn't pay.
You didn't pay your dues, that's what it was. Okay.
No, I didn't pay my insurance.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Because you pay quarterly, and I had paid for 2 quarters, and then I forgot.
Whoopsies.
I know. That was bad.
The best insurance, just for the record, is DGA.
Oh.
Like all these unions, right? There's a hierarchy. Because there's fewer writers than there are actors.
Yeah.
And then there's even fewer DGA members. And what the DGA you buy in for is a lot more expensive. And then what the studio has to pay for our health and pension thing is higher.
Oh.
All that to say, when I was directing enough to have DGA insurance, that was like, what, you want cosmetic teeth surgery? Go crazy. Like when I saw the list of everything, it covered everything. I could have gone to treatment for 6 months.
Oh my God.
I could have got my teeth redone, I think.
If it's hard enough to get SAG, it's hard enough to keep your SAG insurance by acting. What's the requirement? Like you have to direct so many days out of the year?
I always wonder that.
We should have an expert on in union insurance.
I don't like the DGA. Tarantino famously quit it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wanted to co-direct with Rodriguez. They wouldn't give him a co-director credit, so he quit. It's also a great union. I want to say that. It's a great union, and it really takes care of, especially episodic TV directors. They get treated really well because of that great, great union. It's a great union. But they're entitled.
Oh.
Like I had to beg, I had to go in there and make a case so that I could get a co-directing credit with my friend Dave. And that was just, I didn't like the vibe of that. Anyways, they granted it, so I shouldn't be butthurt over it. Here was the big thing. When I joined, they're like, I have an address, right, that all my mail, my bills goes to. And we don't want that address. We want your home address.
Oh.
Like, you don't need my home address. Yes, we do. Like, it was a battle.
It could have just been one guy.
It could have been. But I've had many interactions with them. They just really, in my opinion, they are not.
H&R Block.
Well, let's keep them out of it. But,
It's almost tax time, so.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's like, it's the way I used to feel when I go to a fancy restaurant and I thought the waiter thought I was a piece of shit and didn't belong there. It has that vibe.
I don't know if I'll get it this year. I don't know.
We just don't know. We'll see. TBD.
How many episodes of Nurse Jackie did Paul direct? 10.
Nice even
out
number.
of 12.
That season. That's incredible.
That's all for Paul.
That's all for Paul. Okay.
That's all, Paul.
Well, look. Get off the bus, Gus. Don't need a plan stand.
Oh. What's that?
Art Garfunkel and Paul Simon.
Garfield?
Yes, it's Garfield. It's one of his songs. You don't know Garfield's songs?
They're mainly about lasagna, but.
Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel. What the fuck was that? Garfunkel and Simon? What's going on here?
Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon and Garfunkel. There we go. Do you want to hear my favorite song of theirs?
Yeah.
Okay. How come to look for America? Laughing on the bus, playing games with the faces. She said the man in the gabardine suit was a spy. I said, be careful, his bow tie is really a camera.
Did you make that up?
No, that's how playful and silly the song is. It took us 4 days to hitchhike from Saginaw. How come to look for America?
Wow.
You like it? I mean,
Yeah, I've never heard it.
it's a really good
Is
song.
it a deep cut?
No, I think it was
Okay.
popular.
I probably just don't.
Simon and Garfunkel and Simon is very old.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
My favorite is Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Oh, yeah.
Very classic. I love
You hit
that
me with that
song.
one? How's
no.
that one go? Okay. That one's okay. That one's too soft for me. Bridge Over Trouble. It's too crying. Is it
Yeah,
Wayne?
it's sad. I love it. Hey.
Hey, how about this one, though, that they sang? That's more upbeat. Hello, lampposts, what you knowin'? I come to watch your flowers growing, just kicking around the cobblestones, looking around and feeling groovy.
Is that the same one as the one you were
No.
singing? Oh, you
Feeling
know a lot
Groovy.
of them.
Feeling Groovy's a good Art Garfunkel and Pete Simon tune.
Remember when I said, wow, I cannot believe that you know Dweezil and Moon.
Dude, I was so flattered by that
But I'm just like, this is why.
because I'm
this
so
is-
old.
No,
Oh.
but you can't remember Simon and Garfunkel, but you can remember Moon
It's
and
a
Dweezil.
burn. I thought you were
It's
bringing
not
back
a burn.
No, it's good. It's good. It's right. That was the point you were making. This is right. You're confirming your point with data.
Yeah,
I
I'm just
applaud
saying.
it.
I'm saying the reason I was so a flutter
Yeah,
when you knew all that was because this is what I'm used to.
of course.
This is your
Of course.
status quo.
My excuse or explanation is Garfunkel. You throw Garfunkel in the middle of anything, and it's going to get garbled.
No, you said the reason that you do know those is because they're off the wall.
Right. Shitstick Smith.
Exactly.
Right. If Adam Smith had named his son Shitstick,
That's
I'd
right.
know it.
But so you'd think Garfunkel might be in there because it's off the wall.
Well, that's true. It's the Paul and the Simon and the Art. I don't know where they go. And it turns out the Art and the Paul don't even go there.
They don't.
No.
No, they don't.
Okay. No.
All right.
Just one more thing about those guys.
Okay.
Great Mike Nichols movie that Art Garfunkel starred in at the height of Garfunkel and Simon. Art Garfunkel was in a Mike Nichols movie, and it was incredible. And he was incredible.
What is his real name?
Art Garfunkel.
It's not Art, is it?
Art Garfunkel.
Yeah, it is.
It is?
What's the movie? The Mike Nichols Art Garfunkel movie.
Carnal knowledge.
Carnal Knowledge. It's great.
Oh.
You know Mike Nichols. Do you know? He's,
yeah.
Yes. What a
Dead.
save.
Lost him to
Is he?
not really to Mike Nichols, yeah.
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah, 2014.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm late on that. Oh, so he must have been older when he directed.
Closer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, you played Natalie Portman. I just remembered that.
In my college.
Oh my
In
God!
college. Yeah, I
yeah, you
did.
took the harlequin role.
I did.
Roll.
And I wore a skimpy lingerie.
Oh my God! Lingerie.
Yeah, because I had to strip.
Oh my God! And the classmates watch this.
Yeah, and one of my classmates saw my vagina.
Oh my God!
No, he didn't.
Oh.
Well, I was wearing a underwear, but I mean, his
A
face was up
thunderwear.
close. I was wearing thunderwear.
Why don't you come out with a celebrity thong underwear called Thunderwear? So powerful.
Oh my God. All right.
All
I
right,
love you.
love you to death. Bye.
We are supported by Allstate. Checking Allstate first could save you hundreds on car insurance. Not checking that your keys are actually in your hand before you close the car door. Have you ever stood in a parking lot full of sun staring at your keys sitting right there on the seat 4 inches away and completely useless to you? It's a very specific kind of humbling. Yeah. Checking first is a good idea. So check Allstate first for an auto quote. It could save you hundreds. And for fast, reliable help when you need it, add an Allstate roadside plan today. You're in good hands with Allstate. Potential savings vary. Insurance and roadside assistance plans are subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Insurance provided by Allstate North American Insurance Company, Northbrook, Illinois. Roadside assistance plans provided by Allstate Motor Club, Incorporated, an Allstate affiliate.